Going on a trip with next generation English. We're gonna learn and dive into this magic land. We're gonna find some friends and learn some words. I want to see what you like. Your favorite food, your favorite team. Come in this journey with me. Next generation. Next generation. Next generation. English for you and me. Don't be scared of what you heard. English is not what you think. If you pay attention, you might just dream. Next generation, I wanna learn with you. You wanna learn with me? Hey, come on, let's work together in this. This project is for all of us who want to win. Next generation. Next generation. Next generation. English for you and me.
For those who don't remember who I am, my name is Eder, and I am here with my best friend Natalia. Keep in mind that together we are going to travel and learn more about our culture and region. We love learning about our Caribbean region. Hello, Natalia. Let the audience know who you are and what else we're gonna do in this program.
Hi everyone, my name is Natalia. I am 16 years old and I live in Puerto Colombia, Atlántico. I am really happy to start this English program with you. In this radio program, we're going to learn about different places and people, and we're going to do it in English. Do you like English, Heather? How about you guys? Do you like English?
Of course, I love English and I'm sure that our listeners love it too. I practice English with my friends and my family every single day. In this program, we are going to have different sections. Atlantic News, Sports, Get to Know Me, Let's Play, Listen Up, Get Ready with Me, Reading Nook, and Backpack. Natalia, please let us know what we are going to talk about in each section.
Well, Heather, first of all, we have Atlantic News, where we will talk about current events in our department. For example, information about the quarantine and important things happening in Atlántico. Then we have Sports, a section dedicated to our most important athletes and the sports we like a lot. We will also have a section for interviews called Get to Know Me. We will talk to some of the most interesting people you can think of.
Wow, we are going to learn a lot about our region, sports, and people with those sections. I can't wait. So far, my favorite section is about sports. Okay, what else do we have for our audience, Natalia?
Next, our most fun section. Let's play. We will play games together and we will have some challenges for you too. It will be so much fun. Listen up, it's our music section. We will discuss the greatest hits in English of all time. Finally, our beauty section for all you beautiful people. Get ready with me. We will talk about the latest trends in fashion, makeup, hair, and even health.
I'm really excited to listen to those sections. Let me tell you that I love traveling and discovering new things. That's why, in our backpack section, we'll be traveling to different towns from our department. We will take our backpacks and take our imagination to discover more and more about these places. Remember, imagination can take you anywhere.
Yeah, Heather, that sounds cool. I remember that I saw you with many books in your backpack. So let me ask you, do you like reading books and short stories?
You have to be kidding me. Reading is my passion. This is one of my favorite parts of the day.
Well, I think that you're going to love this section, Reading Nook. This is a relaxing section. We will pick a book and we will read it together.
Natalia, that sounds awesome. But I'm sure that our listeners have this question. What is a reading nook?
A reading nook is a place where you can sit and take a breath. It should be a corner, or if you like, it could be an entire room in your home dedicated to your needs and unique personality. Basically, it is your own space to read. Heather, do you have your own reading nook?
Honestly, my favorite spot to read is in my backyard. I have a big tree and I sit under it. It's really fresh. You know, I love nature.
Hey everyone, I'm Natalia. Thanks for listening to this section. Get to know me. I am glad that today we're going to continue talking about my home. Estoy muy contenta porque hoy continuamos hablando de mi hogar. Today we'll learn new words and phrases to talk about people's homes and types of houses. You are going to get to know different types of houses. Heather, are you there?
Hi, Natalia. Yeah, I'm here. I'm really happy to continue talking about this topic, my home. So, today we are going to learn practice vocabulary to talk about people's homes and types of homes. I'm sure that all this vocabulary will be really helpful to our listeners. Vamos a aprender mucho vocabulario. Let's do it.
Yeah, that sounds great. Hey Heather, let me start talking about the different types of houses. Déjame comenzar hablando de los diferentes tipos de casa. I think that it is very important to learn all this vocabulary. Creo que es muy importante aprender todo este vocabulario.
Yeah, you're right, Natalia. Houses can come in all shapes or sizes. Las casas pueden ser de todo tipos de forma y tamaños. Most modern houses have special areas or rooms for people to do the things that they need to live comfortably. For example, a modern house has a place to cook food, a place to eat, places to sleep, and a place to wash. These things are usually done in separate rooms, which are called the kitchen, the sitting room, the bedrooms, and the bathroom. Am I right?
Yes, you are. Now, let me tell you about detached houses. Let me spell it for you. Detached. Detached. And house, house. In some parts of our country, many families live in a detached house, which is separate from other buildings and surrounded by its own yard. But it is close enough to a town to have shops, good transport, and entertainment nearby. Detached simply means separate or not connected to other houses. I would like to live in a detached house. What about you, Heather?
Well, it seems to me that the detached houses are calm, so I love to live in it. Natalia, I know another type of house that is called cottage. Let me spell it for you. T-A-G-E, cottage. It is a small house often called a cottage. Apart from it, it is also called a small space. In England, where this word comes from, it is used to mean a house that has one main floor, with a second lower floor of bedrooms which fit under the roof upstairs. Cottages are usually found in villages or in the countryside. In many places, the word cottage is used to mean a small, old-fashioned house.
Okay, Heather. Now let me tell you about townhouse. Let me spell it for you. Townhouse. Townhouse. This is a building that has more than one house side by side, covered by one roof. Semi-detached houses are very common in some cities and can be single floor or several floors high.
Living in a townhouse is cool. My uncle lived in a townhouse. I love visiting there. Another type of house that I love is bungalow. Let me spell it for you. Bungalow. Bungalow. In some places, the word bungalow is used for any house that is all on one level. The word came from the India and for a long time was used for a house that is built all in one level and has a porch where people can sit or work outdoors but under a shady roof. A bungalow often has a hole down the middle of the house to let the breeze blow through. Bungalows are often seen in countries with hot summers. For example, in India, Southeast Asia, South Africa, parts of the United States, South America, Australia, and New Zealand.
Bungalows are not common in Colombia, but huts are really common in Colombia and in this department. Let me spell it for you. H-U-T, hut. A hut is a primitive dwelling usually made of materials such as wood, stone, grass, palm leaves, branches, fabric, or mud. People who build and live in huts use techniques that have been used for hundreds of years.
Also, a hut is of lower quality than a house, but higher quality than a simple shelter. Some huts are transportable, meaning that they can be moved from place to place more easily than you could move a traditional house.
The next type of house is farmhouse. Let me spell it for you. Farmhouse. Farmhouse. A farmhouse may look like a cottage, a bungalow, or a mansion, but in many countries, a farmhouse can look quite different to a house in a town because, as well as having a place for people to live, it also has a place for animals. Many farmhouses are long and have two doors. One door leads to the rooms used by the family. The other opens into a stable for the cows, sheep, and chickens. Son muy populares en Colombia, la casa finca. I would like to live in a farmhouse with lots of animals.
Okay, Natalia, you would like to live in a farmhouse, and I would like to live in a mansion. Let me spell it for you. M-A-N-S-I-O-N. Mansion. A mansion is a big grand house, usually with two floors and sometimes more. A mansion often has beautiful architecture and shows that the person for whom it was designed and built was rich. Mansions often have beautiful gardens.
Also, a mansion often has rooms which are not found in ordinary houses, such as a drawing room, a ballroom, a library, and a music room. Hey Heather, what is the difference between a mansion and a palace?
Well, Natalia, a palace is a house that is very grand. Many palaces are home of royal or aristocratic people. Presidents usually live in palaces. For example, our president lives in El Palacio de Nariño, that is located in Bogota. Some old palaces has been changed by people who lived there over many hundreds of years. Around the world, there are many famous palaces. One of the best known palaces in the world is Buckingham Palace, a royal palace in London. The largest palace in the world is the Louvre, which was built in Paris for the kings of France. It now holds a famous art gallery.
I'd love to live in a palace, Heather. I have some questions for you about the different types of houses. I am sure that you will give me the right answers. This is a way to test your understanding. Esta es una manera de evaluar su comprensión. Here I go. What type of house is usually only on a high floor and is found in places with hot weather?
I'm sure that's a bungalow.
Yes, you're right. Next question. What type of house is usually the home of royalty?
Easy peasy, super fácil. That's a palace.
That's right. Pay close attention to my next question. What type of house shares a roof with the other homes next to it?
I think that's a townhouse.
Good job, Heather. What type of house simply means disconnected from other houses?
That's a detached house?
Wow, you're on fire. Let's continue. What type of house is extremely large with a variety of rooms but is not as grand as a palace?
Well, I'm going to answer this question with this sentence. I would like to live in a mansion.
Yeah, I know that you'd like to live in a mansion. Next question. What type of house is a basic home that is made of mud, straw, or palm branches?
This type of house is really common in Colombia. Hut.
Good job. What type of house is set on a large area of land, often near a stable?
Well, I'm going to answer this question with another sentence. Natalia would like to live in a farmhouse with a lot of animals. You know, she loves animals.
Yeah, that's my dream house, a farmhouse. Last but not least, what type of house is usually located in the country and often used as a vacation home?
That's a cottage. Well, we learn new words in English to talk about the different type of houses. We learn bungalow, palace, townhouse, detached house, mansion, hut, farmhouse, and cottage.
Wow, I love practicing English. I hope that our listeners practice this vocabulary with their English partners too.
Yeah, it's very important to practice English every day, little by little. Es muy importante practicar inglés todos los días, poco a poco.
Okay, that's it for today's Get to Know Me. See you next time.
Hello, Natalia. Welcome to Let's Play. Today, we're going to play a game and we are going to learn new expressions that are related to house and home. Are you ready? I'm sure that you are all ready for this. Let's start with Natalia, that today she's going to teach us some more expressions. Please take a pen or pencil and a notebook to take some notes. taking notes, it's very important to learn more. Let's start.
Okay, so let's take a look at some of these very common expressions. The first one is the word hometown. I'm going to give you an example of this sentence. My hometown is Puerto Colombia. Okay, what do you think hometown means?
Hometown? No idea. Where is it?
I'll give you a hint. I'm from Puerto Colombia and I was born in Puerto Colombia. So, hometown is the place you're from, right?
Yeah, I got it. My hometown is Santo Tomás, right?
Yeah, you're right. Your hometown is Santo Tomás because you are from Santo Tomás and you were born in Santo Tomás. So, I have another friend who was born in Barranquilla. My friend's hometown is Barranquilla. Some people come from big hometowns, other people come from small hometowns. Okay, so the hometown is where you were born or where you spent your childhood. Where you were living when you were a child, that's your hometown.
Okay, I got it. Well, I want to learn more new words. Ok, entiendo. Quiero aprender nuevas palabras. Please, Natalia, continue.
The next word is homesick. And I want you to notice my pronunciation of these words. You'll notice that for hometown and homesick, home is the loudest part, okay? I say home louder than town and home louder than sick. So, homesick.
Homesick? Could you give me an example?
Sure, Heather. Here's my example of this word. I'm homesick. I miss my family. Okay, I'm homesick. I miss my family. Do you think homesick means you're happy or you're sad? If you're homesick, it means you're sad. Why are you sad? Because you're not at home. You're not in your country or in your city. You're traveling and you're far from where you live.
Yeah, I remember when I went to Bogota during my vacations. I was homesick.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It is common that when people go to another place to study or work, they get homesick. For example, when students go to another city or country to study, they miss their families, they miss their friends, they are a little bit sad because they miss everybody. So we say they are homesick. They miss their hometown or country. They are homesick.
Okay, that word is clear to me. Could you teach us more new words?
Okay, again, we have two more words with home. Homeless and homelessness.
Homeless and homelessness. What are the meaning of those words? ¿Cuál es el significado de esas palabras?
Okay, these words have the same meaning. It's just that homeless is an adjective and homelessness is a noun.
Could you please give us some examples? I learn more with examples. Aprendo más con ejemplos.
So I'll give you some examples of this. For homeless, I sleep on the streets, I'm homeless. Okay, this means I don't have a home. I don't have a place to live. I live on the streets. Okay?
Yeah, that's simple to understand. Homeless se usa con aquellos que no tienen un lugar donde vivir. Las personas que viven en la calle. We must help all the homeless people. Debemos ayudar a todas las personas que viven en la calle. What about homelessness? What does it mean?
Okay, so sometimes when you go to different cities, There are a lot of people on the streets. They are asking for money and they don't have a place to live. We say those people are homeless. When we talk about this problem, we say the problem is homelessness. Okay? So that's the noun form. There is a lot of homelessness in Atlantico. There is a lot of homelessness in many parts of the world. There are many homeless people in Colombia. Okay? So both of these mean you don't have a home or someone who doesn't have a home.
Okay, Natalia, thank you very much for teaching us these new words. This will help us improve our vocabulary in English. Estas nuevas palabras nos ayudarán a mejorar nuestro vocabulario en inglés. See you next time. Bye bye. Are you in a reading nook? I hope all of you are now in your reading nook because it's time to be really attentive. We are going to start our segment Reading Nook. Last section, we started reading Moby Dick and we have an activity to check. Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. I really liked this book. I answered all the questions, and for sure, our listeners have their own answers too. I really want a 5, the highest score.
Well, Natalia, you will get a 5 if you give me the right answers for all the questions. But don't worry about the score, because in this space, the most important thing is that you learn.
Okay, Heather, I know that the most important thing is to learn, but believe me, I won't make any mistakes. Let's start.
Let's start with the first question. What was the problem?
Easy peasy. The problem was with the barrels. They were losing oil. They needed to stop and change the bad barrels, but Captain Ahab did not want to stop.
Great, Natalia. That's right. Why did not the Captain Ahab want to stop?
Captain Ahab didn't want to stop because he felt that he was near Moby Dick and he needed to find it. Eventually, he changed his mind and they stopped the ship.
Yeah, Natalia. Next question. What happened to Quicket?
Well, as always, I am definitely getting a perfect score. Quick Quack worked really hard on carrying the heavy barrels and he got really sick. He couldn't see and speak. After 2 days, he asked the other men to make him a coffin, and they made it and put him into the coffin.
Yes, it is. If you get the next question right, you will get a perfect one. Here we go. Did Quicket die?
No, he didn't die. He sat up and said, I cannot die now.
Wow, Natalia, you are on fire.
Did I get all the answers right?
Yeah, you got all the answers right. You really pay attention to this chapter of this book called Moby Dick. Okay, today we are going to read a new chapter of this book. Natalia, I'm sure that you and all our listeners are really excited to continue with this adventure.
Sure, Heather. Let me remind our listeners that it is very important to pay close attention to this story. We always have some questions to check if you're following the story.
Chapter 9 Captain Ahab's Dream. We sailed into the Pacific Ocean and the whaling was good. One day we killed 4 whales. We couldn't cap the fat of 4 whales in one day, so we had to wash them that night. We put the small boats into the water near the dead whales. I was in Captain Ahab's boat. We put harpoons into the whales' bodies. Then We put lights on the end of the harpoons so we could see the sharks in the water. Shark! Shark! Men shout from the different boats. Sometimes only 3 or 4 came. Sometimes a lot of sharks came at the same time. They were fast and quiet. Suddenly they were there, by our boats. Their ugly mouth opened and they showed their teeth. We fought them and they went away, but they always came back again. Sometimes they stay away for hours. In those quiet times, Captain Ahab and his men slept. But Fedalad didn't sleep. He watched for sharks. Suddenly, Captain Ahab woke up and sat up in the boat. His eyes were big and wild. He was afraid. I had the dream again, he said to Fedalad. I died. I felt it, and I saw my coffin. You will not have a coffin, said Fedalad. I told you this. You know this. So, am I going to die on the ocean? Captain Ahab asked. Will I die on this trip? Will I die before I kill the white whale? Fedalad's black eyes looked at the Captain Ahab. He spoke quietly to him. Only a rope can kill you. A rope? But how? What do you mean, eh? Then I will die when I go home. They'll put a rope around me and kill me there. Am I right? Fedalad spoke again. A rope will kill you, but I will go first. I will show you the way. You will follow me to the next war. But when? When will this all happen, Fedalad? And where? Asked Captain Ahab. I listened carefully to the 2 men. Now I understood. Fedalad was important to Captain Ahab because he could see the future. The whalers were right. This strange man knew about Captain Ahab's death, and Captain Ahab could only die after Fedalad died. Fedalad suddenly looked at me. Could he understand my thought? I quickly closed my eyes. The next day, on the Pequod, Captain Ahab threw his maps into the ocean. You don't help me, he shouted. Can you find the white whale? Do I see him in front of me now? I find him without you. Some of the men saw this. Their mouths were open and their eyes were large. I looked at Starbuck. His face was white. How can a ship sail without maps? He said. Only a crazy man throws his maps away. The men were afraid, and that night, in their beds, they talked about Captain Ahab. What's he doing? This is very dangerous. Bad things will happen now. Then it came, the wind. 1 minute the ocean was quiet. Suddenly the ship was on the top of a mountain of water. Then down again, up and down, up and down. We couldn't stand. The wind took our sails down. Some of the sails hit our little whaling boats. We couldn't think. We couldn't move. Our ship danced on the wild ocean. Captain Ahab shouted at the sky, Are you trying to kill me? You can't. I fight you. Starbuck shouted at Captain Ahab, God wants us to turn back. Look around you. Look at the boats. Look at our ship. Captain Ahab ran and got his harpoon. No man will turn this ship around. I put this harpoon through that man. We followed Moby Dick. He lives here, in this ocean. He took my lead from me here. Now I find him, and I finish our fight. He took my life, and now I will take his. After many hours, the wind stopped. Starbuck went to the Captain Ahab's room. He looked very angry. I wanted Starbuck to be our captain. I followed him and watched. He opened Captain Ahab's door quietly. The captain was asleep at his table. There were no maps there now, but there was a gun on the table. Starbuck slowly, carefully took the gun. He stood with it in his hand and looked at Captain Ahab. What can I do? He asked quietly. I can kill him. Then we can go home to our families. He stood for a minute before he spoke again. Or I can leave him. Then he'll kill everyone on this ship. We'll die alone, long away from home. I wanted Starbuck to kill Captain Ahab. After some time, Starbuck's hand fell. He couldn't do it. He put the gun on the table and quietly left Captain Ahab's room. The next morning, we heard strange noises. What were they? Were they the sounds of animals or fish? Was it the wind? Were they the calls of dead sailors? It was Pete. He jumped up and down. It's me, he cried. I'm in the ocean. You forgot me. Help me. Captain Ahab went to the boy. Don't be afraid, he said. You're with me. Nothing will hurt you. Look at that, said Top. Two crazy people on a crazy ship. What will happen next? Okay, this is all for today's Reading Nook. Reading books in English is really important for learning this language. When I read a book, I learn vocabulary and practice my English by discovering new things in each story. Now, it's time to check your understanding. In this new activity of this book, we have some questions that you need to answer. Keep in mind that all these questions are based on the pages that we just read. Are you ready?
Yes, we are ready.
Okay, let's start. Listen to 4 questions and write the answers. Keep in mind that we'll check them in the next Reading Nook session. Here we go. Question number 1. How many whales did they kill in the Pacific Ocean? Question number 2. What was Captain Ahab's dream about? Question number 3. What did Fedalab say about Captain Ahab's death? Question number 4. Who was on the ocean?
Next time on Reading Nook, we will answer the questions together. Stay tuned to learn more about Moby Dick. Bye!